Hello, my name is Miguel. In this video, I'm going to explain how the patent process can help your research and development process as well. I am a patent engineer and I'm studying to become a patent agent and also a patent attorney. Now, one thing that not a lot of people know is that patents are freely available to the public, meaning any patent that you can has been filed in the past, and even abandoned patents in a lot of cases are also freely available to the public for anyone to review, read, and analyze or do whatever they please with those patents as far as just reading material goes. After 20 years, if you come across a patent and you think it's a good idea and it's not really available out there as a market product for whatever reason, you can take the patent. You just gotta make sure that it is has expired. And again, in this video, this is just for educational purposes only. Just a guy out here in YouTube, and just do your own due diligence. This is not legal advice. This does not conform to a client attorney basis by watching this video. Do your own due diligence and hire an expert attorney if you need some legal advice. So, but if the patent has expired, most patents have a lifespan of about 20 years. And if it has expired, then in that case, you can take whatever that patent is and then you can use it however you want. You can use it to make your own products. You can use it to improve upon. You can utilize it to do whatever you want basically with that invention. It is freely available to the public, and that is why most people try to get a patent, because it will grant you a monopoly for 20 years, meaning before the patent expires, you will not be able to use it. But since all patents are freely available, at least for you to read and analyze, this means that you can get a very clear picture of all the inventions in the field of whatever technology you are making. If it is AI, artificial intelligence, you can see all the patents that have been drafted and all the inventions that use artificial intelligence. If this has something to do with a new type of material, let's say graphene, you can look at all the different patents that use graphene and how they use graphene. Now, with just this particular bit of information, you can verify that your invention is already part of an invention or of a patent out there. That way, if you just come up with an idea, before you even do a prototype, if you do a quick check and you make sure that this idea is out there, you can search for the parameters of what your invention will consist of. Then you can see all the different patents that are out there. You can search by company, so by competitor. You can search by what features your patent is going to have. You can search by the type of technology. You can search by keywords. You can do all these searches either on Google Patents or other softwares. Some softwares cost more money, but they have a more robust availability for you to search. You can look at these different softwares through, for example, Lexis. Lexis is a company that puts this type of softwares out there, so you can use that. But with that, you can see very quickly and get a feel if your invention's already out there, or if there's something that's very similar that basically does exactly what you do. This can save you thousands upon thousands of dollars before you even do a prototype, before you even draft up anything. If you do a quick search, this is going to save you some time, and it's going to save you a lot of money. A lot of money on research and development because someone has already done it. and also a lot of headaches and sadness and grief in litigation costs if you get sued. Again, this is not legal advice, this is just for educational purposes. But apart from that, apart from being able to see what technology is out there, let's think a little bit more about what else you could get with knowing what patents are out there. You can get a good sense of where that technology is heading, in what direction, what it's being used for. For example, artificial intelligence, you can see how it's being trained, you can see how it's being developed, you can see where it's being applied, on what different technological spaces it's being applied. For example, how it's being applied in making cars, how it's being applied in autonomous driving, how it is being applied in control systems, how it's being applied in different embedded systems. You can see sort of where a lot of multiple patents might be filled in the same area. So this area might be saturated already with artificial intelligence. But how is it being utilized? How is artificial intelligence being utilized in this space? You can also see when it's filed. You can see if there's been a lot of motion and a lot of applications that might have been filed very soon. That means that there might be a lot of progress in this space, and you can see how all of this is being used, and you can see, okay, where's the technology heading? By knowing where the technology is heading, you might be able to then take what this technology, or this technology is heading, and you could potentially avoid going down that route, because a lot of people are already going down that route. And if you want to limit the competition, if you want to limit the amount of litigation that you're going to have, if you want to get a patent a little bit faster and prosecute it faster, you might want to avoid where everyone's heading, and you can take whatever white spots there are in the technology, meaning there's not that much technology for artificial intelligence in a different field. I don't know, for example, maybe in energy production, or maybe there's not a lot of artificial intelligence being utilized in running shoes. Who knows? You might look and see and realize that maybe there's not that much technology there. So you can take it and then you can go ahead and apply it somewhere else. This can save you before you even think of some ideas. This could give you a very clear landscape of where you can do some research, of where you can develop some of your ideas and get some inventions in other spaces. That way you're not up and competing against a lot of people who already have established themselves in a niche within the technology sphere that you're in, and then you can niche down and go somewhere else where there's not that much competition. Basically, what the Blue Ocean Strategy, if you're familiar with the work of the Blue Ocean Strategy with that book, it tells you, hey, if you do a little bit more of a contrarian thinking, you might be able to find a space where you can work somewhere else, and you can create a niche for yourself instead of being in the red ocean. By looking at patents, by doing a review, you are able to create a blue ocean for yourself. Now, after you fill in those holes, you might be say, okay, we're gonna take AI and we're gonna apply it to somewhere else. Or I am in this particular sphere of technology already. Maybe I produce cars, maybe I manufacture different electronic equipment, maybe I am in the material design sphere. You can see where there's emerging technologies coming and within the tech sphere that you might be. Let's say that you're in the manufacturing space and you start seeing that there are a few patents that have been filed with a new type of product, a new type of material. And you can look at that material, you can then see, okay, only a few places have this type of material. Only a few patents have been filed with this material. Is there anything that I can do to utilize this material? Maybe you see a few patents where, oh, artificial intelligence is being applied into my sphere now. Maybe you are in manufacturing chairs or manufacturing desks, and maybe at this time of recording there's not that many patents, hypothetically speaking. Maybe they are, maybe there's not, but let's say that there haven't been many patents filed. Now, you can take a look and see, oh, a few patents have been filed for manufacturing chairs, maybe for the process of manufacturing chairs. What if I actually incorporate it into the user experience now? That might be something that's not that common. Maybe it's something that no patents have been filed in. Or if they have been, they're very unique in how they apply that. And you think of some other new, ingenuine, inventive idea within chair development, and how a user experience can be enhanced by applying artificial intelligence or some other control system mechanism that enables you to have a very good user experience. Now, with that in mind, then you can see, okay, it's this type of technology is barely being applied here. What now? We can take it into our research and development team and say, hey guys, let's focus in on here. This is where the technology is barely starting to go. Let's say this is a good path and we can be one of the early pioneers in this area, or one of the early pioneers to utilize that technology that's already been used, but in a new inventive way in our unique technological sphere. Now, another thing that you could see is maybe there's universities and the government even that are filing for patent and for something that's very innovative, very new. Maybe, for example, in fusion technology, maybe there's some universities that have been conducting some experiments, and they just found a breakthrough that enables them to maintain fusion for a few minutes, or they are able to maintain fusion at a temperature that's a lot cooler than before by a magnitude, by a entire magnitude cooler. That would be something completely unique, completely new. If you keep a pulse on where the patents are being filed, if a university has done that, it's almost guaranteed that they are going to file lots of patents with that technology. Then you can see, oh, there's some new emerging technology with a university. Maybe it's MIT that just filed some patents, and no one else has filed anything on this technology. Then you know, okay, there's something new and emerging coming out. It's only right now with universities. Maybe you're able to strike a deal. Maybe at that point you can go to MIT and say, hey, we think that we can commercialize this product. How about we negotiate and you assign some of those rights over to us, and we pay you an X amount of money over X amount of years, or we pay you a royalty fee for whatever invention we make with the new fusion equipment that you just generated. Then you can just be right there quickly on the edge, the cutting edge of where technology is occurring at universities, with governments even, where they are making technology and they are giving grants, giving funds for you to be able to utilize this technology. This allows you to keep a good pulse on where trends are going, what new technology is emerging, and where old technology or semi-new technology, where now it's being used and in what ways. Now you have to be careful here because that's where you can fall a lot into 102 rejections, 103 rejections, even maybe even 101 rejections if this is just a software patent. So you have to be careful and you have to say, okay, I am filing this patent, but this is where the technology is going. I need to find a new inventive way of how I can utilize this technology, or I need to find a new inventive way on how can improve this technology, and therefore I am able to get granted a patent. That is where you need to get a lawyer. Again, this entire video is just for educational purposes only, and so if you want advice, you need to go to a good law firm. And for these law firms, they must be versed in the technology that you're working on. A lot of the patent process has been commoditized, and a lot of different law firms say, hey, come to us. We will work on whatever patent you have. Whatever technology you have, we'll work on it. But maybe they don't have the right people. Maybe there's a lot of mechanical engineers working there, or maybe there's just some lawyers working there. So you need to make sure that whatever law firm you're going to, you need to make sure they understand what technology you are developing. And that way they are able to give you better advice that's more tailored for you. And another thing is that you need to make sure that these people, that these lawyers that are helping you, that at least they have someone that's creative on board, because lawyers really, they are very useful for drafting up documents, and that's why the patent application process has been commoditized so much, because you can take your a description of your invention, you can then give that to a lawyer, they can grab it, they can go through a process and then draft up an application without maybe even understanding fully and grasping fully what's going on and what you are doing. You need to make sure that whatever lawyer is working with you, they understand. That way, if they're helping you in doing a landscape search, that they don't just tell you, oh, hey, this is the technology that there is out there. This is a generic white space that there is out there that you can go and apply and use it for. You have to make sure that there's someone creative, someone that also likes the inventive process, and that also enjoys building new products, maybe even as a hobby. You need to make sure that there's someone like that in the team, so that they can look at the space and so that they can tell you, hey, this is where the technology is going. This is a white space that there is that's applied exactly to you as a company, to you as the sphere of technology that you are working on. That they don't just give you some random generic advice on, okay, yeah, we can draft a patent. Can we? How hard will it be? Will there be a lot of multiple rejections while we're trying to file this patent? Sometimes they won't tell you that. So you need to look out for yourself. You need to look out for your startup. You need to look out for your business and make sure that you save a lot of money by hiring someone good, someone efficient, and someone who's going to understand you and that will be able to give you tailored advice for your needs, not just a random commoditized version of what you can do. Because really, you could probably look that up yourself. You could even draft a patent yourself. It's a bit of a hassle and a struggle to learn. It's a new skill for sure, but you can learn it if you really wanted to, so that you could file it by yourself. But you want that law firm to really be behind you by understanding you. So, again, to summarize, some of the ways that you can use the patent drafting process and the patent overall process as a whole, the environment as a whole, is so that you know all the available patents that are out there to make sure that your invention, your idea, does not infringe already on the patents that are out there. This is going to save you a lot of time, a lot of money. You get a sense for where the technology is heading and see if, oh, maybe we shouldn't invest so much money into this area of research. Maybe we should invest more money into a different area of research. Or maybe we should apply a new technology into our particular technology. And you can take a look at everything that's out there with a good landscape search review, with a good law firm behind you that's analyzing and that's helping you to get a picture for how the entire landscape is as a whole, what new technologies are coming in from both competitors or even universities, what deals you might be able to make so that you make a lot of good money for yourself, and be able to see a new space where you can go in and you can really focus and hammer in on your research and development and create a vast portfolio of patents for yourself, of new different technologies, new inventions that you're able to develop thanks to the patent process.